From the Jazz Warehouse in Montgomery's Riverfront District, the News and Public Affairs Department of WSFA presents Composite, a look at people, places, and events in 12 countries. Now, here are your hosts, Ivy Berman and Bob Howell.
Hi, good evening and welcome to Jubilee 1978 here in Central Alabama. We had planned to come to you tonight live from the city's Riverfront Park, but as you can see, the past week's rainfall has caused the muddy Alabama River to cover most of that dock, making things extremely difficult for us and for the riverboat Richard Montgomery. However, despite the weather, Jubilee and Composite are both in full swing tonight, and for the next 30 minutes we'll be broadcasting live from this recent addition to Montgomery's urban development. We'll also be talking about the future of downtown Montgomery and taking a gander at some of the weekend's activities for Jubilee. And for those of you who may not be familiar with what Jubilee is all about, Ivy Berman has an explanation. Ivy?
To Central Alabamians, Jubilee means celebration. It's a time for people who live in and around the city to praise its historic past and its potential-filled present. Since mid-morning, it's been a time to more intimately enjoy what the capital city has to offer. In several different locations in the downtown area, citizens and visitors have been indulging in a varied sampling of the Montgomery's arts, its recreation, and its heritage. The celebration is going to continue tonight and through tomorrow afternoon. To many Montgomeryans, Jubilee has an even deeper meaning. At one time, Montgomery was considered by some a cultural wasteland. Today, things are getting better. The arts are blooming here, and so is a new historical awareness, reaching from the days man first walked on Alabama soil to the disruptive, struggling birth of the civil rights movement, much of which occurred at a small church on Dexter Avenue. Besides furthering local pride, Jubilee is doing its part for the local economy. Its numerous events are highlighting Montgomery's role as a tourist center where Alabamians can learn more about who they are, and where they're going.
And one place to learn more about where we've been is the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts. The Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts was founded in 1930 by 52 civic-minded individuals who were dedicated to the promotion of the fine arts in Central Alabama. The first museum was located on the corner of High and Lawrence Streets in a converted school building, and it was there that many of our citizens came as children to view the displays. The first operating budget for the museum amounted to $163 a month. Today, the museum is a vital part and growing in our progressive city. Its annual budget for 1977-78 is over $500,000. The museum has always sought to bring important and exciting shows to its constituency, and this year's Jubilee was no exception. We talked with the museum's curator, Diane Gingold.
In honor of Jubilee weekend, we decided to open an exhibition that celebrates Montgomery's architecture, and we're calling it Spaces and Places, Views of Montgomery's Built Environment, and it opened today, so it'll be the first time that people can come see the exhibition, and it will continue through July 11th. Then also we have special hostesses here from the National Council of Jewish Women who have kindly provided the refreshments and will be hostesses in both galleries, in all galleries rather, for the exhibition, the architecture exhibition, and also for another exhibition, the Whitney collection. It's from the permanent collection of a museum in New York. It's American Art 1934 to 56. So any visitor to the museum will be happy to answer any of your questions about any of the exhibitions. They're going to see something very, very unique for the Montgomery Museum in the architecture show, because what we've done is we've built a Victorian palm court to sort of create a mood of the period in the middle of the gallery. And then they will see photographs old photographs, some dating back to the 19th century, of Montgomery architecture, so they can reminisce how Montgomery looked when they weren't here. And they can see the changes wrought and the changes that haven't been wrought during the past 100 years. And then if they cross the hall and go over to the Whitney exhibition, they'll see oil paintings of outstanding artists of the period I mentioned before, the 30s and the 40s. And then if they look in the cases, they'll see an exhibition of Chinese porcelain. So there's a quite wide variety at the moment for them to look at.
Many people obviously don't take advantage of the fine art that we have here in Montgomery. Would you encourage people to come by and see what you have here?
Oh, of course, that's why we're here. And also, we always like to remind people that we can arrange special tours through the education department for any group, say, of 10 people or more. And therefore, if you feel you don't quite know enough about the history of art, we will fill you in. and answer any questions you have and give you a guided tour to suit your needs.
What lies ahead in the future for the museum? What are some of the projects that you're working on now for future dates?
Lots. In September, we're opening an exhibition, which will also be a first for the Montgomery Museum, of costume designs by Wilson Fulmer, who was a New York designer in the 40s through the 70s, and we're borrowing works from the Metropolitan Museum of Art Costume Institute in New York. And then in February, we're opening a national exhibition, which is called Art Incorporated, and it will be a collection of art from corporate collections throughout the country. And then from here, we'll travel to 3 other countries, and then three other museums within this country, and then probably Europe. And then we will follow it up with a 3rd exhibition of American art to complete a cycle we started 3 years ago. And that will give you the entire history of American art from the early 1900s. And of course, it'll be American art 1955 to the present.
Diane, thank you for your contribution to Jubilee. I know it's been outstanding, and I know that everyone has enjoyed taking a look at what the Museum of Fine Art has to offer.
Thank you.
Composite is brought to you in part by Forbes Piano Company and Montgomery Lincoln Mercury.
Hurry to Forbes end-of-the-year clearance for savings up to 40%. Hammond organs are at closed-out prices. Lowry organs, including Magic Genie, at fantastic discounts. And when you buy Lowry, you'll get a Walt Disney educational package free. All new pianos at great reductions. No trade-ins, no rentals on sale items. Plus, very special buys in the Fret Shop and on the largest selection of sheet music. Hurry, it happens only once a year. Forbes end-of-the-year clearance, Eastern Bypass and Montgomery Mall.
Frankly, I hate to clean the bathroom.
Then meet Comet Liquid
It cleans.
to start loosening dirt.
Sure cleans.
And its light abrasives are easy on finishes. Rinse easy, too.
That's smooth.
And Comet Liquid clings to moldy grout. If dirt's really tough, let it soak a while, then scrub. And even grout's clean. In the toilet, Comet Liquid wipes out most every bathroom germ. New Comet Liquid. Best way yet to clean those bathroom jobs you hate.
After 5 years of waiting and some broken promises, things are finally beginning to move in the Lower Commerce Street district. If some of those promises had come to pass, the last 2 blocks of this area by now would have been graced with nightclubs, boutiques, restaurants, and other businesses. Obviously, that hasn't been the case. These fine old warehouses, for the most part, have been gathering dust, with more tenants moving out than moving in. However, all hope has not been lost for these ornate structures. The Civic Center, the Riverboat, and the Riverfront Park have been bringing more people into the downtown area. Now it appears that development promises may have a better chance of survival. Recently, some definite restoration plans have gotten underway, and riverfront officials are showing a healthy amount of guarded optimism. Mr. Insko, what is the future of Lower Commerce Street here?
I think it's great, and it's just now coming into focus. We've hoped for years that it would, along with urban renewal and with the Civic Center, but it's really taken longer than we thought, mainly because of private ownership of the various buildings here. You can't come in and dictate to an owner what he does with his property. If he's using it, then he's happy. But now that Teague has moved out, as an example, their property has recently sold to 3 different owners. A local accounting firm has bought part of it. They're planning to put in offices. Another part, I think, has really not been planned yet, or not announced anyway. Then the Riverfront Commission has bought another portion over on Coosa Street to redevelop as parking area for the Riverfront Park. So things are really happening right now.
Do you think that any of the owners have, the new owners, that is, have any plans to come in with anything in the way of boutiques or restaurants?
Can't give you any exact plans, but it's very logical that this will happen, because as you get more people into the area working in offices, they need restaurants, nice places to eat, places to take customers for lunch. And then the ladies would like to have boutiques for shopping, so it's real logical that this will all come about real fast.
I wonder how much of a job it is to take one of these old buildings, because many of them are 100 years old, aren't they, and restore them?
The architectural features on the facades here are certainly nice, and you're really talking about sandblasting and things of that type to make your entrance pretty. Inside, your timbers are to be left exposed. That's some of the great part of these old buildings down here. You can create the charm. So, yes, it's expensive, but I don't think it's as expensive as building something new in another part of town.
You were talking a moment ago about fixing these up, and what about the fixing the warehouse up just for this Jubilee weekend and having a jazz concert here?
Well, it really shows how easy it is to put something into a different use. It just came in with approval from the fire department and other city departments, put in tables with checkered tablecloths, posters for decorations, and then they put in the music to give the people the full enjoyment. So it was easily done, didn't take a lot of time, and people really have had a good time with it. So it shows that you don't have to put out a lot of money to accomplish this type thing.
Another riverfront landmark that's had a share of problems is Union Station. While under a development contract with a Florida businessman, that structure has done nothing but decay. But this man, Mayor Emery Farmer, recently took the developer to court in an attempt to bring the station back under city management. Mayor Farmer, what is the status of the station now?
Well, fortunately, the city of Montgomery has prevailed in its lawsuit against Mr. Arthur G. Foster, who is the one who has the contract, the lease on the station. Mr. Foster did nothing with the station, as everybody knows, for some 22 months except let it deteriorate. As soon as his time of appeal is over, and if he does not appeal, the city of Montgomery will move in immediately to clean Union Station up and to hopefully then move some funds from the urban development funds that we have coming back to us, and to bring the Union Station up to standards as far as electrical and plumbing and so forth. And then we will seek a group of interested citizens who will be interested in the Lower Commerce Street area to move in and to help us develop it back to the real viable place that it should be.
Mayor Farmer, is it structurally sound, Union Station?
The structure of Union Station, I think, is basically sound. It is deteriorated from the standpoint of the plaster, the plumbing, the electrical, all of the things like this. But I think that, of course, now the train's shed in the back, we're going to have to spend about $300,000 to get it back structurally sound. But the station itself, we find to be structurally all right, but it has many, many, many dollars worth of work on it to bring it back up to where it will be meeting codes and standards.
Mayor Farmer, do you have any idea of what sort of tenant you'll be looking for? Very quickly here.
Well, what we're looking for is something that will bring together all of Lower Commerce Street, bring the Civic Center, Union Station, Lower Commerce Street, Riverfront Park, Riverboat, all of this tied together. This has been our goal and our aim all along.
Thank you very much, Mayor Farmer. The composite will continue in a moment after this.
Stop! You're not putting Aerowax on that dirty floor, dear.
Mother, I've made a great discovery. Aerowax cleans and shines. It has ammonia for cleaning, acrylic for a tough shine. Watch. Pour on Aerowax. Just damp mop. See how Aerowax with ammonia cleans?
Sure gets that dirt up.
And how Aerowax shines with tough acrylic.
I always knew Aerowax had a tough acrylic shine, and that's great ammonia cleaning.
Aerowax cleans and shines. Aerowax.
As times change, so will many of the comforts that we're used to today, including the automobile. 1978, for example, will see the end of the full-size Mercury Marquis, a truly great car. And at Montgomery Lincoln Mercury, we're going to feature the Marquis at a very affordable price to help you own one of America's great automobiles for a good deal on a great car. Come see us at Montgomery Lincoln Mercury.
You know, there's a lot more to working a ranch than just riding herd. And when there's a lot of hungry folks to feed, there's nothing like a WD brand U.S. choice pot roast from Winn-Dixie. They sure come a-running for it. About the best tasting pot roast around. It's gotta be. It's from the beef people. They've earned the name Beef People Winn-Dixie.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Ray Reach Trio. Thank you. That was the Ray Reach Trio, and we're live at the Jazz Warehouse in downtown Montgomery, and we're talking with Marianne Wade of the Montgomery Area Chamber of Commerce. And Marianne, I understand that there are two basic divisions of Jubilee, a historic aspect and a tourist aspect.
Right. Montgomery, as everyone knows, is history, and we know that's why a lot of people visit Montgomery is because of the historical aspect. But Montgomery is a lot of other things and a lot of fun, and that's why we had Jubilee to put it all together in one big package.
How's the tourist industry look in the state and in Montgomery specifically?
Well, the state has really grown as far as tourism is concerned, and Montgomery in the past year has really come a long, long way, and with the riverboat has helped tremendously, and we know Lower Commerce Street and Union Station would help even more.
We're looking at things that we've done right and wrong in past Jubilees. What lies ahead for Jubilee? What have you learned from the past, and how are you going to put this into action in years to come?
Well, of course, this year we have expanded a lot over the past two Jubilees, and we are looking to expand it even more. We'd like to do more advertising statewide and bring more people in from out of town and add a lot of different things that we couldn't do this year.
And like we said, you are one of the people that's responsible for the success of Jubilee, and it's not over. We want to emphasize that tonight is only the beginning, really, of the second day.
That's right. Of course, the Jazz Warehouse will be open tonight at 9 o'clock, and we urge everyone to come down and enjoy. And also the Arts and Crafts Show, sponsored by the Montgomery Jaycees, will be going on tonight in the Civic Center. And they
inside?
Inside, and they will stay open until The last one's gone.
Okay, and tomorrow's another full day.
Tomorrow's another full day with arts and crafts, and the historic areas will be open, North Hull Historic District, Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts, Tumbling Waters Museum, and so another full day for everyone.
Sounds great. Mary Ann Wade from the Chamber of Commerce, and as we said, Jubilee is really getting off to a roaring start here. We've given you a sample of the things that are happening across town. We've shown you the flooded dock. Unfortunately, the Richard Montgomery did not get to come in for the tours, but we would remind you that things are still rolling tonight. The Jazz Warehouse tonight kicking off about, I think, 9 o'clock tonight until you can come down, bring a date after dinner, or bring Mom for Mother's Day. And we hope that you'll take full advantage of all the activities that are going on for Jubilee tonight and all day tomorrow. And we hope that people will come out for the early services. Are they still on tomorrow morning also?
Sunrise service tomorrow morning at 5:30, and also the Mozart concert at Lee High School tonight at 8 o'clock with Delphin and Romaine, which will be really exciting.
That sounds great. It's a full day of activities, and we'll be back with more live from the Jazz Warehouse in just a moment.
I'd like to show you the newest and the most exciting car in town, the Mercury Zephyr Z7. Here's a car that has it all: styling, room, performance, luxury, excellent gas mileage, and yet a base price of only $4,100. We think it's a great car, and for a good deal on a Zephyr or any of the 9 car lines at Lincoln Mercury, come see us. Montgomery Lincoln Mercury, the sign of the cat.
Hurry to Forbes' end-of-the-year clearance for savings up to 40%. Hammond organs are at closed-out prices. Lowry organs, including Magic Genie, at fantastic discounts. And when you buy Lowry, you'll get a Walt Disney educational package free. All new pianos at great reductions. No trade-ins, no rentals on sale items. Plus, very special buys in the fret shop and on the largest selection of sheet music. Hurry, it happens only once a year. Forbes' end-of-the-year clearance. Eastern Bypass and Montgomery Mall.
Good folks getting together, sharing the life the South is living. Part of that life is sharing and giving, the taste of golden flakes.
'Cause they've got Southern Fried Crunch, you can eat them by the bunch. Golden flake potato chips with Southern Fried Crunch. Golden flake potato chips, you can eat them by the bunch. Golden flake, the only chips with Southern Fried Crunch.
We're back live at the Jazz Warehouse, and things are really starting to pop.
Yes, Bob, do you know, it really has been good this weekend, and the ski show, which was canceled for this weekend, is a very big possibility for next year. I don't know if Cornelia Wallace is going to be skiing in it last year. She had promised to do this year, but they are going to have a ramp, and that will be on if the weather will hold next year. And, of course, we hope the riverboat will be on as well. As always, next year's activities promise to be even better than this year's.
And all of us here on the composite staff hope that you've enjoyed this through-the-lens view of the Jazz Warehouse and Jubilee and things that have been happening in downtown Montgomery and all across town. And we hope that all of you will come down here tonight for the activities at the Jazz Warehouse and all across town tomorrow for the second full day as Jubilee continues.
Now I think it's a good time, Bob, for us to join those fellas who started at the very beginning of the show, that group called Lickin' It.
Right.
As their songwriter and vocalist Mark Fair pays a tribute to our capital city.
Wind down Muddy River, where the Johnson grass is tall. She lies there sleeping in the southern sun. You'll miss her in the morning when the dew clings to the ground. In the late evening when the whippoorwill calls. Montgomery bound. I've been away too long, where the music fills the air. Something about this town that makes me want to stay. I guess it's all you folks that make a song. Listen to the mandolin on a hot summer day. It makes me feel as though I am home. Refreshing as the summer rain, its melody can ease your mind. Without really speaking, it has a lot to say. Montgomery bound, I've been away too long, where the music fills the air. Something about this town that makes me want to stay. I guess it's all you folks that make a song. I guess it's all you folks that make this song.
From the Jazz Warehouse in Montgomery's Riverfront District, the News and Public Affairs Department of WSFA has presented a live edition of Composite. Your hosts have been Ivy Berman and Bob Howell.